Good morning, everybody. This is Krista with Magnolia Ridge Farm and Gardens. And the past 2 days, we have been doing some major gardening things and activities, and I have not really filmed a whole lot. I did set the tripod up for a little bit and try to film just amending the garden beds a little bit, but it has been so windy that it kept knocking it over. So I tried to just hand hold it and just kind of go through and film after we were kind of done to show the projects we were working on, and then I'll just talk through them. So this is one of the activities that my husband was working on, and that was cleaning up where we had a bunch of trees taken down, and the guy has not come to get the trees yet, and so the brush was growing up, so we've got to get that cleared out and get the logs pushed over because this will be our orchard area. So he worked on that while I worked on taking out T-posts and taking down the netting from around the onions and garlic because the chickens are no longer allowed back into the garden since I'm back in it. So I'm getting all these T-posts and everything taken down from around my onions and garlic beds, and I put it back up over around the asparagus and strawberries, which I posted in the last video, which I'll link here. And it's just to keep the chickens out of those beds when we're letting them out. And then this is kind of an overview of where I started amending the beds. So what I'm doing here is I get these big bags of shredded paper from my mom's work. She works for county government, and they shred all their documents and recycle, and they're allowed to take the paper. And so I added the paper to some of these deeper beds because they've really settled over the past 2 years as the wood chips and hay that I had put underneath have broken down. So I just put in some of this shredded paper and then put compost over top, because what this does is it takes up some space, but that paper is really going to draw in the earthworms and break down super fast, unlike cardboard would. So I didn't really need it for weed suppression, but it will break down really well, and the earthworms and stuff love it. So it'll help with the biology and breaking all the compost and everything down further. So all of that will just kind of sink down through the soil that's already there and help put nutrients back in it. And then unfortunately, my little wagon is not tall enough to dump into these taller beds, so I have to pick it up to get the dirt in there. So another catastrophe from the windy day this weekend. One of our beehives got knocked over, and this is my husband, and really bad camera quality because I was super far away, picking it all back up without a bee suit. So fortunately, that hive was one of the ones that had passed away, so there was nothing in it when it got knocked over. So, and this is adding into the lower bed, so it's easier here because the dump wagon just kind of tilts over. So I just kind of manhandle it to get all the dirt out. And you can see in the back all the crazy wind. It was just brutal this weekend. March definitely came in like a lion. And this soil in these lower beds in the back is very sandy. When I ordered it, it actually came from a couple hours away from the people I ordered it from, and so I don't order from them anymore because they have it screened at a facility in Pinehurst, and it's super sandy, and I'm not crazy about it, but the amending with the compost is helping. And it still grows, but it's just not my favorite soil. So definitely amending those beds. However, it does not break down as much. So it has not lowered down in the beds as much as some of the other beds. So a few of my beds, I only have room for a couple inches to amend with. And I'm leaving the background noise in here so you can you'll be able to hear some of that wind, but you can see the trees and the tarps. I mean, it was just crazy. Dirt was flying in my face. Little paper things from the shredded paper were flying around everywhere. So today I did that again, and I had purchased a gimbal, and I tried taking it out there because it was lower and really heavy compared to the other tripod I had. And somehow I thought my phone had died, but when I was trying to put it on there, I had managed to hit the screen darkening, and it had made my screen go completely black, so I didn't think the phone was turning on. Sometimes I am technologically challenged. So I did not film a whole lot of what I was doing. I had it working for a little bit, but then when I tried to like change it over, that's when I hit the screen issue. So I'm pretty much done, but I have one last task to do, and I wanted to share that with you, and I'm just going to hold this camera because it is crazy windy. So this is a box I had thrown out on my porch because the onions had rotted and had infected the garlic and had made and there were some potatoes too. So this was just kind of like my throw out box where I was throwing things that had gone bad. But I walked by and noticed there is some life in some of this. So I'm going to pull some of this out very gently. Try to find, that one's got life in it. Try to find what under here, ugh, that's kind of gross, is sprouting. It stinks, guys. Because I don't want to waste this. I mean, if it's sprouting, then it has life. I don't really see anything else sprouting. Well, maybe. Not sure about that one. Yeah, I'll leave that one. All right, so, I mean, look at all that. That's crazy. So let me grab something to take this out in. Just dump that over. This is on my list of things to do, is to clean up this spot where I just kind of piled all my extra stuff that I was done with. At the end of the day, I want to see a mess. There is a mess. So I've got to clean up all these pots and things that just kind of got piled right here next to this. All right. Oh no, the wind knocked over one of my jugs, and it was one that had sprouts in it. Ah! Stick that one back there. Maybe it'll be a little more protected. Really? The dogs want me to play with her, and I can't get the ball. Keeps rolling all over the porch. Okay. I hope the wind is not roaring into this microphone. Come on. So I think this is onions right here, and I'm not sure what all this is. So, I mean, that may be, I have no idea. But we're just gonna plant it right in here because
whatever I planted in here did not come up. So we're just gonna put that in and see what happens. Let's see, here's another one. These may have been elephant garlic that did not clove out. And then I just had a little onion. There it is. Wow, that may be a garlic. It's very soggy, so I don't know if that one's gonna make it. This is definitely garlic. So I'm gonna move it over here. Just kind of pop it in right there. See, I know I've got some more garlic in here. Pop it in right there. Okay, so basically just by going through my little trash pile, I got 22 more cloves of garlic planted and 3 of the really big bulbs, which I think were elephant garlic. So they're over here with the onions though, but in the back corner. So we'll see what happens. I mean, they were sprouting, they had life in them. So I didn't want to waste them. But I have to go get my kids here in a minute, but let me show you. I did finish amending this bed today, and I went ahead and put some fertilizer on it. I did a Epsoma vegetable tone with some added bone meal because I am going to plant onions here anyway. So I went ahead and just threw some fertilizer on it while I was doing all 3 of these beds, which is onion and garlic. They've been planted since late December, I believe. This one was only planted in January, I believe, but it's almost caught up to the ones that were planted in a month before. So, and then this is the one I did yesterday, and that one there. No, actually, I think I did that one yesterday, this one, and this one. That's right. So I have peas planted here, and it's the Cascade sugar peas on both sides of the trellis. Where the wood is, I planted carrots, which I bought this little carrot stake last year for Easter at the dollar store, and I've just kept them to mark my carrots. Isn't that cute? So I have some Chantilly carrots, I believe. And then on this side, on this trellis, on both sides of it, I have purple little snow peas. And then I'm going to come back and put something here in the front. And then I will probably put flowers in the back so that I am not trying to pick them, just because on that side of the fence I will probably have cabbage or whatever. So I want something that I won't be messing with. And then today I amended these 3 beds. So those are now all ready to go, which will all be brassicas that I am bringing home from my dad's greenhouse this week. So these 3 beds are ready. The other side of this bed is ready. So I will probably put some cabbage and beets in here, and maybe some beets right there. And then it'll be broccoli and cabbage and Brussels sprouts all back here. Like I said, this bed will be onions that I'm bringing home from Dad's house. And then hopefully before I get up there, I'm aiming to go Friday, I believe. These 3 beds will also be amended. So this whole half of the garden will be amended. I will save this little, this is like my little staging area, but it will, once everything's in, it'll become my little patio, and I'll bring my table and chairs back. And then I will have this garden, or this side of the garden, left to do. My goal is 3 beds a day, a couple times a week. and then I will get to that outside garden. I may do this outside garden, which it looks a wreck, but it's mostly construction debris from where we were doing the greenhouse. So the next thing is the greenhouse floor. I have to finish that this week because I need to start my tomato seeds and stuff. But I will probably get this bed amended. It doesn't need as much work, but that's where all my potatoes and sweet potatoes will go. And I do have my potatoes. They're not quite ready to go in the ground, but they will be soon, here in like a week or two. So I will get this bed amended because I will probably put some cabbage out there as well. So that is it for right now. But we have a good start on spring. And I'm already feeling like I'm running late. Even though I was trying to be on time with everything, I already feel behind. So there you have it.